Okay, I am live, and before we start getting real active, I'm gonna invite people. So please be patient while I figure out what the channel is here. My channel, get that live. Finally feeding COVID, okay, anybody here? So the sound there, say hello to everybody. Hello. Alrighty, and we're gonna share this. Copy, go to Twitter, go to Facebook. Let's see. How do I do this? Huh? Oh, how do I do this? There we go. Hey guys, hey, oh, already. Oh. Hey guys, you guys are fast. I'm just inviting people. Live now. Come on. It's one update data sharing. The control you have over what information Twitter shares with its business partners has changed. Okay. Live now. Join me. And okay. Yeah, laundry talk format. Yeah. How do you know? How did you know that? Girish Sardry. That's an odd name. Interesting name. I should say interesting name. Hey Simon. Simon. Okay. Oh, I saw someone on Twitter who lived Aichi question if they were the Florida of Japan. That's good. I like that. Wow, filling up quick. That's good. Okay, guys, good to see you all. Now let me start with a bit of whiskey. I've been staying off the strong zero because it's too sugary. So I just made a Patreon-only video about the background about these two guys that I met, two black guys from Senegal, and the fact that they're black is important because that's why I wanted them on the channel, because I needed someone with black hair for the haircut. And they turned out to be really, really cool guys. I mean, they're just really interesting and friendly and funny, and we have so much in common. I was just really, and so much not in common too. But anyway, I just did a video for Patreon on there, and I popped up over on Patreon, and I don't know what happened, but suddenly I have like 11 new subscriber or Patreon supporters this month, and I was like, what happened? I don't know what happened. And I'm thinking maybe it's because you guys are stuck in the house. I don't know what it is. But I want to give you a little background about this whole page. This video is about the COVID situation and how it's finally affecting me, because you know, I knew this was coming months ago, and I always thought Japan is a little bit weird about it. They're not really they're not really taking care of it well, I thought. And I've seen what's happening in other countries, and Japan has always been weird. Like, how come there's so few cases here? Good night, Cassandra. Have to work tonight. Yeah. Hey, Cassandra's a nurse, everyone. So send her your good thoughts, because she's on the front lines. K Cross 04. Hang in there. Hang in there. Yeah. I wish you could stay, because I have like questions maybe you could answer, but I've talked to a few other people about this. But okay, so Japan, everybody knows, I mean, everyone's got their theories. Japan's been underreporting the deaths. There are a lot of theories, like in Japan, for example, if you have a underlying situation, or what is it, predisposition, or a previous problem, a medical problem, what's it called? Pre-existing condition. That's it. Pre-existing condition. Yes. Then, if that's the case, oh, I forgot my mask. Oh, forget it. I don't need any props. If you have a pre-existing condition, then the chances of you dying are higher, of course. And in Japan, there are a lot of old people. And the theories have been, one theory is that a lot of people have died because, okay, they die because of COVID, but when they go to the hospital, the doctor says, yeah, he had a pre-existing condition of like he had a heart problem or he had diabetes. So they list that as the cause of death, not the COVID. So that's one explanation as to why Japan has such a low count, right? Number two, Japan is simply just lying. They're just saying it's the flu instead of it's COVID. So another theory is that, and I don't know if this one is true, but I heard that because if it's the flu, if someone dies of the flu or something else that's covered by healthcare, the doctors can charge the government. And remember, Japan has a very good, I like it, a very good healthcare system here. It's the national healthcare system that you have to pay into, and everyone's a member. A little background on that real quick. If you come to Japan, the first year you pay about $15 a month for the first year. Then starting, and by the way, you pay 10 months. You pay for 10 months, okay? That covers the whole year. For some reason, you don't pay for 2 months. I don't know why. But anyway, you only pay 10 months. Then the next year, you start paying healthcare rates. Your rates change depending on how much money you made the last year. So if you didn't make much money, your premiums or whatever, your monthly payments go up a little bit. If you make a lot, it goes up quite a bit. Now, the good and the bad news, I don't know. The highest bracket is pretty easy to reach. I'm in the highest bracket, and I'm not that rich. Okay, and I think and all around Japan, it varies very slightly. The maximum you can ever pay, I think, is like 60,000 yen or 59,000 yen, somewhere around there. Oh, really? Okay. The comments? Sorry, I don't know. No, the comments seem to be matching up on my side. But apparently, I got a notice. I'm using StreamYard, by the way, just so you guys know. What you're watching is StreamYard. This is the software that I'm using. See? StreamYard. And StreamYard gave me a notice today. They said that due to COVID, a lot of people are using the internet much more than normal, and there may be problems, they said. So they said, watch out. Right. What happens if I do this, by the way? Let me try something funny. What happens if I do, I can always share screen. What happens if I do this? Share. Oh, look at that. Look. We just go into an eternal circle. That's funny, huh? Yeah, you can see me on both screens. Yeah, this way we can test the lag. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Yeah, about 17-second lag. Yeah, there you go. Okay. Well, anyway, we don't have to do that now. It's kind of confusing. Stop screen. I haven't got my 2 Macs yet. They're going to start sending them next week. I just saw. So anyway, those are some of the. Let's go back to the national healthcare. So the national healthcare system, you can pay up to 60,000 yen a month, a maximum, which is actually not that bad, and it covers dental and pretty much everything. So my trip to the hospital. Oh, and if you're in Nagoya, in Aichi, all children up to the age of, I think. All children up to the age of 18 now, all medical bills are free completely. And that is just amazing. So my kids don't even need healthcare. So basically just me and my wife need it, right? And I'll go to the dentist, and the most I've ever paid at the dentist, even though I had like a major bridge work done. That's a horrible story, but but that costs like $30. That's the most I've ever paid. And I'll go to the dentist and I'll pay like $5. I've paid as little as $1. And I thought, really? 110 yen? That's really what you're charging me? Or sometimes 150 yen, 300 yen? It's just amazing how little you pay. Anyway, healthcare I like that kind of system. You might think that's a lot of money, $600 a month. Yeah, but it covers everything. And I had influenza. I had the influenza, the flu, pneumonia. I'm sorry, pneumonia. Was it pneumonia? I think I had pneumonia 2 years ago. And I had my own private room. My wife was 3 years ago. Yeah, my wife was pregnant with Amelie. His teeth literally fall out right now. D, you look familiar. I don't remember why. My wife was pregnant, and the doctor said there's probably no chance that's going to hurt your wife because she's pregnant. Let's be safe and let's keep you in the hospital. So I stayed in the hospital for 1 week. I ended up paying like $700 or something for a private room for 1 week. That's pretty good, right? So, I know in the States, man, like my mom had a bone marrow like exam. What do they call it? I don't know. They took out some bone marrow, and they charged her $50,000. $50,000. Now my dad has insurance, so good insurance up the kazoo, but still $50,000. Anyway, so COVID. Let's get to COVID. So another theory is that doctors in Japan are not marking the cause of death as COVID because health insurance will not pay for COVID deaths yet. So I don't know if that's true. Anyway, long story short, for whatever reason, COVID deaths are probably most likely being underreported in Japan. Another reason, of course, everyone knows was because Japan was suppressing the numbers because of the Olympics. They were holding on to the Olympics, and they said, we're going to do the Olympics no matter what. But as you know, as everyone knows, the Olympics have been postponed until 2021. And someone told me that the 2021.com site had already been taken by someone else or something, or whatever the Olympic name was. They tried to to change it, and it's already been taken. And apparently they're not going to change the name, right? They're just going to keep it as 2020, even though it's going to happen in 2021. $300 for Tylenol? What? No way. Yeah, so the Olympics were canceled. So now they're starting to test people, and they weren't testing me before. Like I'd never heard of anyone being tested. Jam Fan is here just to pick a fight again, to show everybody how smart he is. Okay. Jam Fan, why can't you just contribute to the chat without being a dick? I don't know any of those people that you're talking about. Okay. So now about after the Japan decided to finally give in and cancel or postpone, the Olympics, they suddenly started testing, and you slowly started seeing an increase in the COVID-19 cases. And now it's gone crazy. Like I think yesterday was 450 cases were reported. Let me look that up. Let's see. Let me see. Mainichi seems to be good. Something I can get to quickly. Right. Okay. I think 455 cases were discovered yesterday. Possible, but I remember like last week, or 2 weeks ago, on a Wednesday, it was like 40 cases, then 60 cases, then 67 cases, right? And then 97 cases, and every day it's getting more and more and more. Let me see. Tokyo confirms record of over 100 new. This was on the 9th. On Thursday. Oh, that's today. That's just Tokyo. The numbers top. Let me see. I want to say it was more than 180, but it says right here that 180 new corona cases were confirmed in Tokyo. So I'm not sure if that 455 number that I'm thinking of was national. Okay. Let me see. I haven't seen many people say that COVID is a joke. In fact, a lot of people I think are kind of over. I still think, I mean, there's still people like, I went to Legoland the other day, like 2 weeks ago, when they opened it on a Wednesday because it was pretty much dead. And I got some people giving me shit about that, and I figured this is probably the last chance to go before they close down this whole country. So, and the thing is, there were literally less people at Legoland than there were like in my neighborhood. I could walk around my neighborhood and run into more people. That's how few people were there. I showed you guys pictures. Well, maybe I didn't. Yes, I did. I put the pictures up on Facebook. I mean, on my Instagram. There's literally nobody in the background. The most people we ever saw at once, I would think, was like 5, and we were always meters away. And at Legoland, they were super anal. As soon as you get there, they spray your hands, and they say, "Did you wash your hands?" And they say, "Please wash your hands." And every ride that you ride, as soon as you ride, they come out and they spray down with alcohol and they wipe down everything. And there are very few people there anyway, and half the rides were closed. Anything that was inside was closed. The only things that were outside were open. I got a little shit from that video, but then I went back on Sunday and it was a little bit more crowded, but still not that bad. And to be fair, Japan had not issued any state of emergency yet. Now that was last Sunday. No, 2 weeks ago. Two weeks ago Sunday is when I went. Okay, so it's been 2 weeks since, and things have changed. But to give you an idea, I am in AICHI, and AICHI has, I think, the 5th or 6th highest number of cases. But 2 reasons for that is that we had 2 clusters here. One of them I heard was in a nursery. Someone said nursery, another person said nursing home. So I don't know which one. But anyway, there was 2 clusters. There was one here and another one somewhere else. What was the other one? I forgot what the other one. Anyway, there were 2 clusters. So a lot of the So that's one reason we have a high number, and we had a lot of deaths. 19. We had the most deaths of any prefecture, but we had the slowest growth. Even today, we had only 3. Only 3. Okay, so until today, until I think yesterday, Nagoya was like business as usual. I mean, the only difference is in the last 2 weeks, like McDonald's and a few restaurants, when you go through shopping malls or underground where the subway is, you see bottles. I have lots of whiskey. Yeah. I'll be okay. I'm actually like, do I have enough whiskey? Everywhere you go, there's bottles on tables outside. So you can if I'm not going to McDonald's, I'll pass by it, grab the bottle, spray my hands, wipe my hands, spray my hands again, wipe the bottle. And I've been really, really careful. Now, the other thing is, the other reason I'm not too concerned is because about in January, was it January or February? Quite early, I was sick for about a month. I was sick with something for about 2.5 weeks. And then right when I was getting over it, I got sick again with something different. And I don't know what it was, but in the back of my head, I'm always thinking, was it Corona? Was it, maybe I've already gotten it. And my kids and my wife were all sick too. We were all sick at the same time. So maybe we've already had it. Who knows? And so was my father-in-law, right? This is really good cheap whiskey if you can find it. Kumataka. So, part of me thinks maybe that was it, because they say a lot of people have asymptomatic or mushojo. There's no funny virus stickers? Not yet. Thank you, man. Not that much. Damn, there's no funny virus stickers. Yes, so, okay, now so let me explain. I'm gonna go back to this and explain. So Nagoya has had had the slowest growth. The growth in Japanese, by the way, is kakudai. Kakudai? Yeah, kakudai. And I'll give you a little kanji here. Kakudai. Yes, which is the spread. This is the word for Japanese that means spread. You learn a little Japanese, okay? And kakudai boshi, asymptomatic is mushojo. Okay, you want to know that one? Asymptomatic is mushojo. Mushojo. This is asymptomatic. Symptomatic. I'll teach you a little Japanese, right? Okay. Let me show you some Japanese here, okay? Kakudai is to spread. Mushojo is, where's the, oh, hey, Sam, we gotta go? Okay. Where's the other one? Oh, here we go. Right? And boshi, which is this kanji, not that one. Oh, I just put hat. Yeah, boshi. It's the same sound as hat, by the way. This is prevent or stop. Prevent, stop. So actually, kakudai boshi would be the preventing or stopping the spread of coronavirus. So Nagoya, for some reason, has been very good at it, and Tokyo has it. Now, one reason could be because we're much smaller. Tokyo has 10 million people. We have 3 million people, so 1/3 the size. But our growth rates are tiny compared to theirs. We only had 3 today. They had 144. Despite that, yesterday or 2 days ago, was it yesterday? 2 days ago, Tokyo officially declared a state of emergency for 6 prefectures. Okay, and Nagoya was not included. The reason for that is supposedly because we have very slow growth here. Okay, and when that happened, here's a little side note. Yeah, I got some more. When that happened, a bunch of Tokyo people said, so the government in Tokyo shut down all the host bars and hostess bars. So just in case you don't know, in Nagoya, in Japan, there's an industry of something called hostess or host bars, in which hostess bars are the most common. So men will go to a bar and hang out with hot chicks, and they're not exactly prostitutes, but if you get really lucky, eventually one might sleep with you if you spend enough money there. And they basically stroke your thigh, tap your thigh lightly and drink and serve you drinks at outrageous prices. And you go home feeling like a man, especially if your wife doesn't treat you like a man. Okay, so that's the theory. They just make you feel better after a long day at work, after getting your ass kicked at work. Water, it's called the mizu shobai. Mizu shobai is the Japanese. That industry is called mizu shobai, which means, literally the water trade. Mizu shobai. I hope you're picking up some Japanese here. Literally water trade, but it's not exactly prostitution, It's not exactly prostitution, but anyway. So they closed them all down in Tokyo. Okay, and apparently a lot of people are getting some of these bars have been spreading corona the fastest because people are going to these, and they're typically very small, cramped, dark places, and they're all they have very poor ventilation, which is one of the things you're supposed to avoid. You're supposed to avoid poor ventilation, the 3 C's: crowded places, cramped places, and close conversations, something like that. And those are the English versions, but in Japanese they're the san mitsu, mippei, mishu, mitsudan, maybe I forgot the other one, but basically the same thing: cramped places, small places, crowded places. Sorry, cramped places, crowded places, and close conversations. So you're not spitting on each other, right? So, of course, host bars and hostess bars are just like that. Now, a bunch of host bars were they're out of work suddenly in Tokyo. So some host bars announced that they were going to Tokyo. Some host company said, well, we got to make money, so we're sending 50, I guess it was a chain. They sent 15 hosts to Tokyo. I mean, to Nagoya from Tokyo. And the governor of Tokyo, of Aichi, or the mayor of Nagoya said, we don't want you here. Get out, right? And last night, walking around, one of my students said she told me this today. She was walking around Nagoya, Sakae, actually, and she saw a bunch of really loud hosts, and they were spitting on bicycles. Isn't that bizarre? Like they were pissed off because they weren't allowed to work, so they were spitting on bicycles. So you got to be careful. People are bizarre. I like that, Faustian man. I treat my objects like women. That's pretty good. Mm. Anyway, so here's the funny thing. About a week ago, I shouldn't say retard, our governor in Aichi prefecture where I live, our governor was bragging that Nagoya had the slowest growth rate. So we don't need to shut it down or anything. But then when Tokyo announced that all these other prefectures were getting shut down and were going to be on lockdown, and did not mention Nagoya and Aichi, suddenly Aichi felt like they were overlooked. And there is something called Nagoya, let me tell you this, it's Nagoya Tobashi, and or Nagoya, this has also become popular, Nagoya Skip. Some of my high school students will say Nagoya Spick, not Spick, that's me. Skip, Nagoya Skip. And what that means is when a big band comes to Nagoya, no, I'm sorry, to Japan. When a big band comes to Japan, they will, like, let's say, I don't know, the Rolling Stones or some huge band comes, right? They'll go to Tokyo, then they'll go to Osaka. They'll just skip Nagoya because it's not worth it. It's only 3 million people here. We're the fourth largest city. I think it's Tokyo, Yokohama, Osaka, and then Nagoya, and then Kyoto, maybe. Or maybe Fukuoka. Maybe Fukuoka. But anyway, they skip us. So people are joking, like, oh, it must be, we're getting skipped again. We don't even get lockdown. We don't even get included. But of course, one theory for that, for not getting the lockdown, is because Aichi is the home of Toyota. And that's a huge industry, right? So if you shut down Toyota, if you stop that powerhouse, that's going to hurt the economy quite a bit. Oh my God, everyone! It's Steve Miller, a real reporter, not just a couch, not just a guy talking out of his butt like me. Steve Miller. Steve Miller, please tell what you're with. What's the name of your? Who are you with right now? Have you changed? You're working for the government, right? I'm sorry, it slipped my mind suddenly. I know who you're with. It's that free American news agency that broadcasts all over the place. I forgot what it's called. Like a BBC kind of, but for America. Not PBS. Steve Miller. It's a different Steve Miller, by the way. He's not answering. He must have just popped in. Okay. I don't blame him. He's a real reporter. Not that I'm not even a fake reporter. I'm not a reporter at all. I'm just telling you what's happening. So hold on. Let me tell you. So yesterday or this morning, Voice of America. Yes, thank you, Voice of America. Glaucoma. Thanks, Steve. Steve, by the way, there's a new group on YouTube called the Old YouTuber Group, which you should look for. Maybe I'll invite you. It's all the old-time YouTubers. I think you know a lot of those people, so I'll invite you on Facebook. All the classic guys. Anyway, so Nagoya was not included, and this morning, 10:30 a.m. this morning, the governor of Aichi, his name is Omura. He came out and he said, well, we're going to have to do something about that. I'm in Nagoya. Yes, that's why I'm talking about Nagoya. Bobo the clown, the monkey there. So starting tomorrow he's going to make the official announcement. But the weird thing about Japan is they tell you, like, we're going to announce this tomorrow. But by doing that, you already know what the announcement's going to be. So unless something incredible happens tonight, as of tomorrow, Nagoya will be included in the shutdown. Okay. Now, a lot of people, a lot of you guys like to give me shit about things that I do in my videos, and I deserve quite a bit of it. But I went to Nagoya Station the other day on my way to work, and I thought, I passed Nagoya Station anyway. I think I'll just take a slight detour and go through it just to show you what it's like, because many people wearing masks. And on that day, they had just changed the. You can see it in my last video. It's a bicycle trip, and it's a very short video. It's only like 15 minutes long. But you can see the masks are way up, and the announcements have started, and they started announcing that they're reducing the number of trains, and they're telling everyone to wash your hands and desanitize your body, disinfect. They said disinfect your body. They have English announcements as well. Yes. Is there a lot of criticism about how Japan about how Japan had so long to prepare for this and utterly failed to act for months? Are people being held accountable? No, because nobody's really that afraid yet. So the thing is, Japan has not exploded like other countries, but everyone's expecting it will. But that has yet to happen. So, you know. Oh, Steve, wow, you're in it. Good. Yeah. Oh. Anyway, so as of tomorrow, we're on shutdown. We're on a lockdown, but which basically means you don't need. They don't want you to go out unless you have an essential, an urgent reason to go out. And in English, you call that a shelter. What's that? Shelter in place? Shelter at home? I forgot what it's called. Shelter in something. And in Japan, people are still going to work. So I talked to a few of my students, and they're like, "No, we're still going to work," and including my wife. Like I said, what are you going to do? Well, shelter in place. That's right. I got it right. Yay! And she's like, "No, you know." I said. She said she was suggested to do her work from home, but part of her work is shipping stuff, and she's got to ship the stuff or prepare the packages. So import, export, large. Oh, what's wrong? Anyway, she says she's not, and the nursery schools are not closing. So the nursery schools are still going to be open. A few of my students I've already contacted and said they'd rather. Yoko is 25 years old. A few of my students have said that they would rather come to school, but some of them have said they would rather do it by Skype. So I'll be splitting up my week next week, doing both. So that's what's happening. But it's made me. We have changed the way we teach or we deal with students in the last few weeks. For example, I don't kiss the students anymore. Just kidding. No, I don't. That was a joke. But I was joking to my students. I said, "Don't kiss anybody on the subway today. Did you kiss anybody on the subway?" And when the students come in, we have a bottle of hand sanitizer right away, and they wash their hands. And we have signs that say, "Please wash your hands." And we actually tell them, if they forget, please wash your hands. We have a hand washing station that uses paper towels, no real towels. And the desks are spread apart, so none of the desks are touching each other, and every desk has only one person per desk. And I said, like, I'm far away from everyone as well. We open all the windows between classes to change the air, so there's no stale air. We're wearing masks in the classroom. So we've changed the way we do things at school, and the oldest students that we have stopped coming to school. They've stopped coming they haven't come for like a month now. Okay, to be safe, and we completely support them. So, so yeah, so. I get a lot of suggestions. You should stop working. You should close down. And do you think it's smart to have your school open? Blah 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 blah. Well, it's not that bad yet, and everyone else is out there. I don't think it's really going to change anything, and we're being very careful. We'll see, We'll see what happens. But as of tomorrow, quite a few of my students will stop coming. And they'll start doing Skype classes. I do teach Skype already. I teach Japanese on Skype, and I teach English on Skype, and Spanish occasionally on Skype. So it's not that big a deal, not a big change in my life. But I got to say, Skype is slightly more tiring than face-to-face. Because I don't know, for some reason you have to make sure you're talking. Sometimes there's technical problems, but not a big deal. Not a big deal. A lot of people do that all the time. Zoom, no. I want Udemy courses. Yeah, I'm thinking about that. So anyway, so now we have to change things. Wow, and I can't believe this class. How long have I been on? I've actually made a fairly. How long has this been? 152 people. Jesus Christ, that's a big group. Hey guys. Zoom is being sued right now for privacy issues. Oh, so I do have some things I want to talk to you guys about. Yeah, actually, I made some notes. Things I wanted to talk to you. So, oh yeah, so I'm the host in Tokyo. I talked about that. I'll just go through this real quick. Sanders dropped out. As you guys know, Sanders dropped out of the race, and Trump is saying why he gets to keep his delegates. I don't understand why. You know, for some reason, I saw that news, and I was like, it seems like the election seems like the least important thing to worry about right now. But I know it's important because that's going to be the leader of the free world, right? So semi-free, right? Yeah, give me the thumbs up if you guys are enjoying this, by the way. Okay, that's Sanders. So I just think that it seems like all politics just seem ridiculous right now. And oh, here's something else that I think is kind of interesting. And I'm going to go ahead and tell you guys something that's pretty bizarre. Even though probably, I know I'm going to get a lot of shit for it, but I'm going to go ahead and tell you something I've been considering. Hold on. Just a minute. Let me show you something. Here we go. So I have a brother-in-law and a sister who I both consider to be highly intelligent. And they stumbled, I don't know how they found it, but they stumbled on this video by a professor. What's this guy's professor? Professor Nutkowitsky. And this is episode 2. I don't know where episode 1 is. It's got about 500,000 views. You can do a link. You can do a search for this. Oh my God! No, that wasn't it. I just linked the whole. Just say. You can do a search for this. Sorry, right there. You can do a search for that if you want. I don't know if I can put the link in the. I'll try to put the link in. But, well, yeah, CG Talk. That's what this guy's. He's not saying it's fake. He's saying that the way we're dealing with it is wrong. He's saying that what we should have done is just let it. Oh my God, it finished. He said we should have just let it go, right? We should have just let it go. And if we hadn't flattened the curve, it would be out of the human system. Why are all these things? Oh my God, why are all these things here? Yeah. Jan Pham, Bernie is out of the picture, so it's kind of a moot point. So why don't you not argue about something that is no longer relevant? Jesus, this guy, Jan Pham, all he wants to do is bitch about something. He's got like a tampon up his butt or something. Excuse me, ladies, I know that's sexist, but anyway. So this guy, Professor Nutkowitsky, talks with quite a bit of authority about, and he's from the Rockefeller University Department of Biostatistics, Epidemiology. I don't know if that's is that a reputable college? I think it is. Maybe he just got that fancy name, I don't know. But he does mention a lot of stuff that do seem to make sense if you listen to it. He doesn't say it doesn't exist, but he does say that if we had just let it run its course quickly, instead of like self-isolation and social distancing and all this crap, it would be out right now. And he says, of course, maybe all of you know by now that every year, 290,000 to 500,000 people die from the flu every year. Every year, worldwide. That's a worldwide global number, right? But we have a vaccine for that. We don't have a vaccine for the corona yet, the COVID-19 yet. But long story short, he's saying we should have just let the kids go to school. They would have developed herd immunity, and we should have kept the old people at home like we do every year anyway. That's what you have to do with old people anyway, because you hear about the old people dying from the flu all the time, and no one's ever surprised. But everyone knows that this COVID-19 is 20 times or 10 to 20 times stronger than regular flu. So that is something to consider. And if you guys, if you've ever, I want to say, raise your hand. If you've ever had the flu, then man, the flu can really fucking suck. The flu can be really, really painful sometimes, right? Now imagine that it's 10 times or even twice as painful as the worst you've ever had, right? I can see people dying from that, right? CG Talk, that's about right, yeah. Okay. Okay, Maddie, I'll let you know. anyway, it made me think about it a little bit. But my problem with his theory was basically, or his suggestion is, we should have just let it run its course. We should have let young people go to school and develop herd immunity. And that kind of makes sense to me, except for this. He doesn't really account for the fact that it's much more, it has a much higher death rate than regular flu. And here's something I think that matters. You know, statistically, he might be right. But at the end of the day, if I lose a family member because of this, and it's something that I think I could have prevented just by social distancing, even though it would have meant flattening the curve and dragging this out for much longer than necessary, I would be okay with that. I've seen a lot of anecdotal stories out there of people who lost family members. You know who lost someone the other day? The SNL comedian Che. What's the guy's name? Che something, I forgot his name. Michael Che. Michael Che's grandmother died, and he went like, he's all pissed off. And a lot of young people have died. You hear all these stories. A 30-year-old wrestling coach died, and he was fine. There was no pre-existing conditions. The other thing they don't talk about, though, is that so many Americans are dying because we're in shitty shape. We are overweight, right? Not Che Guevara, Michael Che. But so anecdotally, you know, I don't want to be. I don't want to look back and think I could have saved my wife's father's life or my dad's life. My dad's, 80 years old. I don't want my dad dying because of this. And sure, yeah, maybe next year flu will get him, but I get, statistically, I understand. Okay, he's going to die someday. It's got to be something, right? It's going to be the flu or cancer. Most people die from cancer, but if it's preventable, then I think making the argument that, well, 1.3 million people die from car accidents every year. So if you think about it that way, but it's not. It's these are not that 1.3 million. This is another 100,000 people that are going to die that don't have to die. So I think about that, and I think that we should pay attention. Anyway, that's one thing that I do watch that video if you're interested. It makes you think a little bit. Okay. I've been watching the Andrew Cuomo and Chris Cuomo interviews. Those are pretty funny. Chris Cuomo's views have really gone up because he's got COVID. I thought that'd be a good thing. Just pretend you got COVID, you'll get tons of views. I'm sure someone on YouTube is going to do it. I'm sure. Andrew Cuomo, his press conferences have been really interesting. I like him. I've never seen the guy before, but he seems pretty cool. And by comparison with Trump's, shit fits. I wish he would just get the facts out or let other people talk. I don't know why he can't. He feels he's got to give an hour and 45-minute conferences every day. Just get the information out. A president should have other things to do. He should be, I don't know, doing something else more important than taking questions from the press. But here's something else that was interesting. Blacks are getting much more. They're more. What is it, like 20% of Louisiana is black, but 70% of the victims of the deaths are black. So it's all fucked up, right? And of course the answer, the reason is because being black is a pre-existing condition, and not exactly being black, but being poor, having diabetes, high blood pressure, which blacks are more prone to in general. And if you're poor, it's harder to get to be in good shape, to take care of yourself, right? So that's why minorities are dying, especially blacks, and that's fucked up. I saw a video of two blacks who were in a store, and they were getting kicked out by the police because they looked suspicious because they were wearing their masks inside the store, like a Walmart or something. And that's fucked up too. And that never happens in Japan. Like I showed you in the video the other day, people are just most people are wearing masks now, including myself. But yeah, if you're black, you're pretty much fucked, man. I also thought it was kind of interesting that I saw the Trevor Noah show, They had a bunch of videos in the beginning of blacks claiming that they will never get coronavirus because they have melanin, and melanin protects them. And I mean, I'm sorry that they're wrong, but oh, Matrix, how you doing, man? But that kind of bravado was kind of stupid in the first place. You shouldn't be bragging that, oh, we can't get sick, when other people are dying. That's just you're small if you do that. But let me see. Okay. The Japanese government, so what they're doing is they're shutting down 7 prefectures as of tomorrow, 6 prefectures now. Tomorrow, AICHI will join, and they're sending everybody 2 masks. And my wife told me yesterday, she goes, I'm running out of masks. What do I do? Because I bought masks. I was smart. Accidentally smart. I bought masks a while ago. Just because I thought, just in case, you never know. If something happens, I want to have masks. So it doesn't cost that much. And I ordered more masks, washable masks by mail, which they should arrive any day now. I ordered them like a month ago, just in case. You gotta be prepared. Oh, and here's the last thing that I want to point out. Everyone's pointing fingers and saying, trying to say it's this is the reason this is happening. But to be honest, here's what this has uncovered. Our medical system is terribly lacking. This would never have happened if we had hospitals that were as strong as our military. Imagine that we put just double the money into the medical system here, and not 25 times, not that money into all the military, right? And imagine we had hospitals that would almost never be beyond capacity. So what this has uncovered is just really how shitty our medical system is, and how we don't have enough nurses. We didn't have enough nurses in Japan anyway in the first place. And in America too. I mean, how many nurses have you seen that are Filipino? Or we have to import them from other countries. So few in Japan as well. The big problem, I don't take the train and subway. No, very rarely. I ride my bicycle. Anyway, so this is what I think this has shined a light on, the fact that our medical system sucks, and we don't value that enough. We should be prepared for things like this. Like, what if there's an earthquake tomorrow? And like in Japan, 14,000 people died in that earthquake almost 10 years ago, right? Anyway, let's and the other reason, that's another reason that Japan's death rate is much lower than other countries, is because we as a country, and I'm Japanese, right? We as a country, we're much lower. We have much lower rates of diabetes, et cetera, et cetera. Oh, okay, let's look at some of these comments. Arn, a few weeks ago, Black Twitter was saying that they are immune to the virus, and it's white people thing. Yeah, I saw those, and that's crazy. And that's just silly and mean to say, and it's not even true. Let's see. We don't have complete data, so I'm not saying anything was certain. What is it? What's he referring to before? Oh, 1.5 million confirmed, but we don't have good testing. Actual cases must be. Yes, I agree. Probably much higher. Right. Cuomo is the worst. All he does is yell at young people, which you should. Young people are there to be yelled at. Right? Louisiana, 15,000 of COVID, and most of the people who die are going to be black. Yeah, let's see. What's this say? Trump was warned before it got more serious and ignored it. Now he's attacking the hood. Yeah, the other thing I think is kind of ridiculous is that, and for everybody, including the people that I usually follow, like people like Seth Meyers and Stephen Colbert, there's no point in blaming anybody at this point. I think it's pretty clear. We can wait maybe for the blaming game. Right? And Trump shouldn't be wasting his time. Look at that. Almost the whole block. Trump shouldn't be wasting his time blaming anybody either. Why do we, I know he's trying to deflect the blame, but I think there's something respectable about saying the buck stops here. Sure. Yummy. But at the same time, I don't think anybody should be blaming anybody. We should be concentrating on taking care of the problem right now. Let's see. Healthcare sucks in the States. Okay, here is an off-topic question. Can you talk about teaching English for non-natives like me from India? Yeah, you're going to have a really tough time. But there is a company, Sanath, Naimpali, if you have a degree, there's a company called GABA. Oh, by the way, Disney workers have been laid off. Tokyo Disneyland has been laid off, and they're protesting because they're only getting paid 60,000 yen a month instead of the normal 200,000 yen a month. So they're down. They're only getting 60,000, with less than a third of their salary, and they can't live off that, right? But at the same time, they're lucky they're getting anything. A lot of people are just getting laid off. So we're going to see what happens. About Sanath Nampali, yes, there is a company called GABA, but from what I've heard, GABA is also laying people off like crazy right now, and they're making some of them teach from home using their own computers, and there've been problems with that. Interac is also making people work from home. I've heard. I don't know how accurate this is, but the problem with that is a lot of those teachers don't have computers that have Skype or anything or cameras. Like I have a Mac, because I'm a fanboy. Yeah, okay, give me shit in the comments. But it's got a camera built in, so if I wanted, the mic's been built in. Other people don't have built-in mics and cameras. I know because we talked to quite a few of our students about that this week. So to Sanath, you can get a job at a few companies like GABA, but basically there's a demand, right? And if you're a great teacher, you'll get students. It'll just be a little bit harder, but the stereotypical demand is this: British and Americans are at the top, with Canadians too. British, Americans, Canadians are the top. Okay, they're the ones that are in highest demand because Japanese perceive us to have the most neutral or useful accents, right? There will always be the Japanese person who prefers the British or prefers the American accent or the Canadian accent. When it comes to studying abroad, they prefer England and Canada and Australia and New Zealand because America is often perceived as being dangerous. But for teachers in Japan, Americans are among the top. After that, you get the New Zealanders, who undercut everybody and they don't charge much, so they're cheaper. So they're popular with employers, but not so much with students who half the time, they can't understand them. Even I can't understand, like, Hiko Simon, what he's saying half the time. Am I joking? Well, okay, I understand 90% what he's saying, but that 10% is annoying. Like, what was that? Then you have South Africans, and at the very bottom, you'll have people from other countries like India, the Philippines, who some of them speak excellent English. But I've met quite a few Germans here who speak excellent English, but they're not really interested in teaching, so that's fine. Also remember that while English teaching is a great way to get your foot in the door, it's not a great long-term career, and I wouldn't recommend it to anybody as a long-term career. I'm doing it, but it's not, I'm also doing a lot of other stuff I don't tell you guys about. So I've owned bars and managed bands and done other things. So, okay, we don't have complete data. So let me see what else we're going through the. Well, the libtard orange man vibe in here is real. Well, there's no point. Here's what I think. Just listen to Trump. If that seems like normal human communication to you, then, well, I beg to differ. So move to a black city and be safe. Win-win. That's true. My coworker is Chinese and someone tried to kick him out of the store for ignorance. That's birth. Yeah, that's fucked up. So I mentioned that in a video the other day on my Japanese for More. By the way, guys, I've reopened my Japanese for More videos, and I will put some videos up tomorrow. Japanese for More. Yay. I've opened up that channel again, and I started posting there again. And go watch those videos over there. And I put up a video about a woman that I saw on the subway the other day who had a badge on her back, but you can put it on your chest. And it said, I have hay fever. You won't catch it. So relax. Something like that, Yahoo, hey family. So the point, and I mentioned, that even in Japan, there is something now new called corona hara. Corona hara. So coronavirus harassment. Corona hara. Right? Adding hara to the end of something implies harassment. And they're selling badges for people who have severe hay fever because they don't want other people to think, oh my God, that person's coughing and sneezing. Maybe he's got coronavirus, you know. Because if you get a really bad case of, and I've had it before, of hay fever, your eyes will turn red and you'll tear up and you'll just be a mess. So yeah. So I said, even in Japan, there's the racism against, people who have coronavirus, but it's not like in America where they beat the shit out of you. Like I mentioned that, like the racism problem, because in America it's like, okay, you're Asian and you coughed, or you're Asian, so people are racist against you because of this coronavirus thing, and that doesn't happen in Japan unless you're sneezing and stuff. Anyway, someone took issue with that. Okay, I don't think GABA offers sponsors work visa. Maybe not. But I've met women from either Nepal or India who work for GABA, and I don't know what kind of visa they were on. So there must, the other option, the easiest way to get into this country is save your money and become a student, or get a like the Senegal students that I know, get a scholarship. Yes, apply for a scholarship. Mixed, I think it's called mixed. I don't know what that means anymore. I forgot. Mixed is is a Japanese, what's it mean? It's called the MEX scholarship. Look for the MEX scholarship. Study in Japan. Yeah. This is, James Ober. There you go. There you go. There's James, the one who got all over my case because I mentioned that people are beating the shit out of people. Yeah, so that's the difference, James. In America, Trump's not a statement like he's a businessman, the perfect man for the job. Yeah, okay. The perfect man for the job. Yeah, he's doing a great job. Okay, this is what I don't get. People who support Trump, like, what has he done for you? Really, what has he done except sow discord and separate people? He's concentrated on things like transgender rights. Like, who the fuck cares about that? Abortion, which most people don't care. Most people support the freedom to choose, but for some reason he wants to target that. If you want to be a person for the economy, then work for the economy, right? The other thing that I don't understand is why everyone cares about the goddamn the stock market, because only 1% of Americans have stocks. Why are we always talking about that? Stock market goes up and down. Nobody even owns stocks except for the rich people. Anyway, okay. So Japanese for morons. I have that video there, and I'll be making some more videos this month. A pawahara, yeah. Okay. Harakiri is harassment of the kiri now. That's backwards. Hara, stomach harassment. That's good. Okay, Sunni. That's funny. Let me see. Okay. Really? Did you really? I don't even know what that means. Like, how much is Facebook worth now? Facebook stock price. I don't know if that's good or not. What is Facebook stock price? It's $174, really. Well, how many did you buy? Did you buy 100 or 1,000? Oh well, it used to be really low. Okay. Well, good for you. I made money back in the day, but she's got the whole world jumping out of their skin. That's not necessarily a good thing, though, But okay. Well, we can argue. I'd like to have a president I can respect, and I think it's smarter than me. Or Trump seems like a total idiot, but that's just my opinion. That's just my opinion. The other thing is, people are like, "Whoa, Victor, when you say things like that, you're like, you're pissing off half your subscriber base." No, I'm not. I'm just pissing you off. Here's a funny thing. Like, I can forgive you if you like Trump, but a lot of Trump supporters cannot forgive me if I don't like Trump. If you like Trump, I will put up with you. I will. I have friends who like Trump. Leo, how you doing? Argentina. Hincha pelotas. That's one of my favorite. Hincha pelotas. Leo said it before I did. I actually didn't read your comment until you said, yeah. Yeah, hincha pelotas is like you're breaking my balls in Argentinian. I love it. Yeah. Anyway, well, listen, I'm gonna wrap up, guys, because it's 1 o'clock, 1:30, 1:20. I had a great time talking to you. Thanks a lot. There's a new, yeah. Oh yeah. So, yeah, I got a lot of classes did get canceled. So the next 2 months, my salary is like dropping like thousands of dollars. And this is what I was thinking about this. You know, at the end of every Seth Meyers show and Trevor Noah show, he's always talking about why don't you donate money to these causes and stuff. I'm like, how can they donate? How can people donate? From what I hear, Americans have no money at all. Like everyone's got like $300 or $400 in the bank, and that's all. So people who've lost their jobs, these people are fucked, right? Luckily, I haven't lost all my jobs. I've lost quite a few jobs, so I'll be okay. And of course, and I've got YouTube, so I'll I will take classes on. I will. You know what? Here's my thing. I'll teach you Japanese, and you can pay me to teach you Japanese, but you got to learn hiragana and katakana because I'm not going to deal with that shit. I don't want to teach unless someone can actually read something. Because I mean, if you can't make that commitment, so yeah. Oh, I have quit going to the gym as well, but I've been working out at home with my own weights, and I'm like fucking stronger than I've ever been. So I can't wait till I go back to the bench press again. I think I'm gonna go for 110 kilograms next time. I did 103 three times before, and I'm just feeling great, man. But I'm only working on dumbbells, so it's hard to tell. But anyway, okay. Thanks a lot for joining me, guys. If you want to check out the new, there will be new videos coming. This for everybody. There's also private videos on Patreon if you want to see those. And join up over there and support me for $2 a month, right, or more if you want, and or not. But either way, do me a favor and thumb up this video if you enjoyed this video. Help spread it a little bit. You can share it for a day and then unshare it. It'll help. I appreciate that. Okay. All right, guys. Thanks a lot. Peace out. Everyone, take care, and I'll see you soon.